the fulfillment of what I decided as a thanks to God during World War II. When I was, as a son of a Jew, and still drafted and wore the wrong uniform, and saw all the misery around me, and then I said, well, if I survive the Nazis and the war, I want to give thanks by service. And then we met and we agreed on that.
I started going to school in 1933. That's when just Hitler became the Chancellor of Germany. And I went in the morning to school, and one teacher greeted the other one, lifting the hand and saying, Heil Hitler. And the other teacher said, you're doing that already? And that was waking me up. Something happened what I don't understand. And then came the time where there was so much talk about Hitler Jugend and all that, and the people became more and more arrogant. And I couldn't stand it. I can't stand arrogant people because I try to be quiet. And it bothered me how they all were bragging about what they could do and what they represented. So I didn't represent anything. And then came World War II, and we just had to see that we lived through it. And fortunately, we could live through it. When the war was finished, I was just finished with high school.
Growing up as a son of the Jew, you were considered less human than other people. But the Holocaust that we know was not known by the majority of the Germans. That's a fact that has been not understood, and we have the proof of that, because the Jews were just sent over, told they were resettled. They didn't know that they didn't have 24 hours to live. But I have decided after the war not to dwell on that past. I don't carry any prolonged grudge there.
Yeah, I was very glad after the war nobody dared to be arrogant anymore, because everybody had to see to survive. And I was glad that I met Helmut, because exactly what he wanted to do, I could subscribe as well. And so we went out together into the mission field. And are ever there up to now.
I once read in an American medical newspaper about education. Well, they said there are doctors who are not really up to the specialties, but they maybe still make good medical missionaries in Africa. Well, that person probably was never over there. We have very much professional, challenging all the time, because, well, we have to cover a wider field than people do here. I remember my introduction into Africa, there was, in the hospital, we were at language school still. There came the nurse to row and said, we have a woman with a ruptured uterus. Our surgeon is in Arusha, call Helmut, he should operate. And they told it to me, and I said, well, I haven't done that. And the nurse said, Doc, you better know that such silly excuses are no good here. Well, I was on the way to the hospital and thought, well, there are 4 vessels that have to be tied, the uterus to be removed, and get out of there. And with the help of the Lord, that woman survived. That was the introduction into Africa. What is medical missions in the 21st century? What is it? Fortunately, no, it has been used for or misused by some to be as a bait, meaning that the patient can't see a doctor before listening to a sermon. where I found that, I put a stop to that. It's not our job directly to preach to patients. We participate in the church life, but it is our job to treat them well, to treat them as human beings, respect Muslim customs. We have many Muslims who come because they know they are treated with respect. And so our job now is let people know who we are and that we do it as a thank to our Lord. And that's essentially what we can do. And I think in that, even if people talk to us about our faith, we of course are ready to do. Unfortunately, there is less and less opportunity to do so. But that's how I see, how do we see the future? The lifelong medical missionary is no more. The one who goes there as a young person and comes back, if at all, at retirement. We have it much easier. We are neither saints nor heroes. We are just professionals who devoted their professional skills to the service of thanks to God. That's how I view our work.